Today, we're getting a win in every Fortnite season ever, starting off with Chapter 1, Season 0. That's right, seasons weren't even a thing. And look at the way the weapons look, the way the map look. Look at that grenade. It has been cut out and turned into a paper icon to put in game. That's right, that's literally what the grenade icon looked like back then. All of this OG art, salty springs, scoped assault rifle. Look how inaccurate the weapon was. I've now got a cracked out loadout, the OG Scar, grenade launcher and legendary sniper. And I actually just noticed that shields were grey. They weren't even blue back then. And the damage this Scar outputted, some of the weapons were so ridiculously broken. One of my first wins ever in Fortnite Battle Royale. If I remember correctly, I think this is my second one to kick off my love for Fortnite. But things did not stop there as we go into the first proper season. Although it wasn't called a season back then, we got our first seasonal shot with the Renegade Raider, an Aerial Assault Trooper, Ghoul Trooper, and Skull Trooper all came out during this Halloween period as well. We got launch pads, smoke grenades, and pumpkin launchers. And look at this. This is the purple tactical shotgun. An absolute legendary weapon in Fortnite. And this win is hilarious. I was camped up as a bush item. This player was trying to hide behind the supply drop. You don't get Fortnite lobbies or even players like this anymore. And I snuck my way all the way up behind him. He had no idea what was happening. Ladies and gentlemen, if you miss OG Fortnite, hit that thumbs up button. What a victory royale. He had no idea. But then things start to get serious. We're moving into our first proper season, as I like to call it. Chapter 1, Season 2. The players, they weren't getting much better at this point. Pistol dealing tons of damage, but of course, this season brought the very first battle pass with 70 tiers, the legendary Black Knight, and a ton of POIs, including Tilted Towers, Haunted Hills, Junk Junction, just to name a few. And of course, the Scar was still absolutely cracked. We had some huge updates this season. Oh my gosh. And don't forget, bam, bam. One of my favorite double pump clips ever, jumping over the wall. We had boogie bombs, mini shields, impulse grenades all added in this season, which is why people look back at it so fondly. And another beautiful victory. Wow, so many OG memories are hitting me right now. And going into Season 3, this is where the legendary John Wick skin, complete knockoff by the way, and you can also see the Rust Lord that I'm trying to take down there with some questionable aim. Tactical shotgun dealing so much damage. Back then, Fortnite would just rip off skins so blatantly. And it's crazy to think that we actually ended up getting their official skins in the game like all of the years later. I loved early game action in these seasons. If you could find a shotgun and any sort of assault rifle, you could just start running at people and taking them down. He had a minigun firing at me, but it did not matter. Not only was the battle pass absolutely cracked, but apparently the amount of kills that I'm getting for wins is absolutely cracked. We've got vending machines, porta forts, heavy shotguns. One, again, of my favorite seasons ever in Fortnite. Hey! Okay, I keep on saying one of my favorite seasons, but I forget that the seasons just get better. Fortnite is on the up and up. This is Chapter 1, Season 4, with the legendary Omega and Carbide skins. At this point, I had ranked it up all the way, but Dusty Divot in the center of the island, everyone would land there. If you were aggressive and you knew what to do, you could pick up a ton of kills so early on. The very first, like, superhero-themed season. And people that didn't play this season, didn't get the skins, or just didn't fully rank up their skins, you'll still see them complain about it to this day. Portafort is purple rarity, apparently. Of course, the meteor is on the island at this point, and is how the visitor came and actually landed. And we're starting to actually get some really deep bits of Fortnite story here. It's weird watching the game and realizing I can't mantle and can't sprint. Those headshots are absolutely cracked. We got Risky Reels, Dusty Divot added in. Jetpacks came within this season. Hot Rocks, Shopping Cart, bouncers, so many good updates in this game. And as if this season wasn't good enough, we also got the Thanos LTM, which blew everyone's mind and was the first integration of Marvel into the Fortnite universe. Rocket launcher coming at you. If you hear a rocket launcher being fired, you need to be scared because the amount of ammo you can hold. Look at that. My grenade launcher's 25 ammo in it. Are you kidding me? Of course, this season contained one of the very first Fortnite live events with the rocket actually taking off and blowing the minds of everyone in the world. Where is this guy hiding? He's been firing missiles at him. There he is. Absolutely clueless. Another Vic Roy, baby. You could say things were honestly only just kicking off as we go into Chapter 5. Another awesome battle pass with the Drift skin, Ragnarok, Sunstrider. If you know, you know. We've got some awesome POIs added in as well. Going for a little bit of... Oh, I remember this. I was inspired to do some solo versus squads action. Now, at this point, I'm pretty sure I'm still playing on console on my old PS4. But your boy, you know, I had decent aim from the Call of Duty days. My building wasn't that good, but I could definitely aim. Look at that, shooting through the poison gas, and I was taking on a full team of players all by myself. In this season, we got the very first skin with a built-in emote. The cube came on the island. I remember I was away in Italy, and suddenly someone started texting me saying, the cube's arrived in the island. I was like, what the heck are they talking about? The infamous cube came and graced us. We also got ATKs, double barrel shotguns, rift to goes, and my very first solo versus squads victory royale. Oh, what a beautiful memory. And now the center of Loot Lake has been lifted up. I absolutely loved these POIs. Back when skill-based matchmaking and lobbies were just any and all type of skill players, you could land here, and if you got an AR from this top house, I mean, just look at this. You could just absolutely beam people. A horror-y themed update, which included the Dire skin, the infamous Calamity skin. There she is. Ooh, almost taking me out. And, of course, the Cube Live event. All happened in this season with the addition of Haunted Castle, Floating Islands, Quad Launcher, Quad Crasher, and Balloons. God, I remember this victory royale. I think it was one of my very first games of the new season, which is always tense when you're trying to get a victory royale. But your boy did it. 100 damage coming in hot and double-digit kills, which leads us into a very snowy season. The island has started to be covered with snow and ice as a giant ice rock has come and hit the island, bringing with it the Ice King, the Lynx skin, and a huge addition to the Fortnite Island that we had no idea about until the live event happened. Planes, zip lines, bottle rockets, probably one of the worst updates ever added into the game, to be fair, and drift boards, the infamous drift boards. That was probably one of the worst events we got in the very first chapter. It did introduce the giant ice rock, which contained the monster, which would lead us soon into the monster versus robot live event. We just didn't know that back then. Oh, that skin. Lynx almost boxed me in there. Quad launcher still in hand. Man, I missed the quad launcher. It was so OP. People were starting to get a little bit better at building. This person questionably blocking themselves in and giving me an easy Vic Roy with a literal ice cube on my back. I mean, it couldn't be more fitting, could it? And one of my favorite seasons brought with it the Peely skin. I had no idea at the time just how infamous this skin would be. We've got Lazy Lagoon, one of my favorite POIs from the very... Ooh, nice healing just in time there. One of my favorite POIs from the very first chapter. We also got ourselves the very first marble skins added in. We also got Siphon added to the game as well. We got the volcano on the island as well. And the unvaulting event brought back the most OP drum gun ever seen in Fortnite Battle Royale. And I genuinely consider this season an all-round absolute W, except from this season leading into the next season, one of the saddest things ever happened to Fortnite, which is where I think it started to go a little bit downhill. Which I know is not what you want to hear, but what was it? Well, with the start of Chapter 1, Season 9, Fortnite decided that they were going to remove Siphon from public games of Fortnite, and also decide to make skill-based matchmaking even more prolific, meaning the lobbies definitely got harder. If your skill level in game was high, everyone else would be a lot better at the game as well. In this season, we of course got Neo Tilted, Mega Mall, Pressure Plant. The whole map felt futuristic and was set up for something big, as a 0 point had been exposed for the very first time. Now, not a lot of people know this, but the addition of a combat shotgun and tactical AR was all tied into the John Wick film, alongside the official John Wick skin, a POI for John Wick. The weapons were actually from the game, and not many people know that. One of the best events ever happened with the mech versus robot, and now that I'm looking back at it, you know what? Fortnite was still absolutely awesome, and I can forgive them for the removing of Siphon with everything else that happened in this season. That's one of the coolest Vic Royales I've ever got, flying through the air as he killed himself in the storm. And at this point, we had no idea that we were getting ready for the end of Fortnite Chapter 1. With Chapter 1, Season X, and look at this, the Batman grapnel gun, the Batman POI, the Batman stuff was absolutely awesome, and the 0 point was exposed, and we were close to the end of Fortnite Chapter 1. This did, of course, bring in the addition of the Brute, the mech that we all hate, junk rifts, shield bubbles, and more. And the island and battle pass skins were like a mixture of everything. We got the OG Meteor, Tilted Town, one of my favorite POIs ever because you couldn't build, the Ultima Night, and of course, as the season came to an end, we were getting ready for the very first end event, which saw the black hole being added in and all of us going into darkness, as we had no idea what was happening, and this person got absolutely edited on. And maybe my very last win ever of Chapter 1 without me even knowing it, as we were brought to a brand new island. I remember being on a plane when the actual Chapter 2 map was leaked on the Apple Store, and I was on my phone desperately trying to tweet it out, work out how I was going to make a video. So much new stuff. The introduction of a lot of bots onto the game as well, especially for that first game, if you remember jumping off the battle bus and onto the island. But a season with some of the least amount of updates ever. It felt like really slow. This season took ages and ages to come to an end. We did get a Star Wars collab and a weird Star Wars event, which introduced lightsabers for the very first time. And although a new chapter was extremely hype, it felt like a little bit of a weird one. But Fortnite were only just getting started. As one of the greatest Chapter 2 seasons, I think a lot of people would agree, saw the addition of the Agency, Midas, Deadpool, Meowscles. I mean, are you kidding me? We got the Agency, the Rig, the Shark, so many iconic locations, mythic bosses, choppers. The Travis Scott event happened in this season. I mean, it genuinely is up there as one of the best seasons ever. I loved getting all of the mythics. I loved all of the skins. All of the weapons were so good. And the device event was absolutely crazy, as we thought Midas was maybe going to break out the loop of Fortnite, but it didn't quite work. Instead, the whole island got flooded. And at the end of last season, it's probably the only time we'll ever see the Fortnite map flooded. Those few days were absolutely crazy. Sharks have come onto the map. And yes, that's right. Water is pretty much everywhere. The cool thing is they kept mythic bosses and a load of mythic weapons. There wasn't a live event, but there was so much hype around the Aquaman secret skin. We finally got the introduction of cars, which was one of the most hyped updates ever. And although a lot of people don't like this season too much, I actually really did enjoy it. I genuinely did. And I actually didn't mind the island being flooded as well. It made the whole map feel different from the beginning of the season all the way to the end. I'm trying so hard here for a win. You can see I've got the mythic Chug Jug, the mythic Burst AR. Can I get the Vic Royale? Woo! Just. But are you ready for what's coming next? Following on from one of the greatest first chapter seasons in Season 4, Chapter 2 Season 4 decided to be just as good, if not better, with all of the Marvel skins, Iron Man, Thor, Groot. They did not hold back. Stark Industries, Doom's Domain, The Ruins, the Galactus live event. I mean, it just the content, the updates, the skins. It was, you know, I'm hyped. And look at this crazy Galactus gun I managed to pick up as well. If I remember correctly, I was playing on the Xbox, using the Xbox exclusive skin. We got Marvel Mythics added to the game, Midas Floppers added to the game as well. and genuinely just felt like Fortnite were in one of the best places ever. No one could beat them because the game was so good. And I'm sure all of you guys that missed out on the skins and everything in this season, you definitely regret it. And personally, I'm still holding out for another Marvel-themed season. I just love all the collabs that come out of it. Now, how on earth do you carry on from that season? Well, a load of collabs, apparently, as we got the Mandalorian collab, a ton of agents and assassins from around the world added into the game, as Jonesy went on a massive recruiting spree. Street Fighter, Kratos, Master Chief. Now, again, no live events, but we did get the introduction of exotic weapons, friendly NPCs on the island for the first time. Although I wouldn't consider it one of the best seasons ever, there was a lot that went on, and Fortnite are really going all out at this point to make sure that their game contains the most amount of characters and things from everything in the entire world to really make Fortnite a metaverse game. Now, some people consider this one of the worst seasons ever, believe it or not. The Battle Pass did contain Agent Jones and Lara Croft, which was really cool. We got the spire location in the center of the island. With the introduction of crafting and side grading, all the primal and makeshift weapons weren't that good, and people weren't keen on them. I actually really liked the primal AR, by the way. Just wanted to defend that gun. And for the very first time at the beginning of the season, we got a solo live event where you play through your own action sequence. And again, more of a Fortnite storyline was explained. I'd say this would probably sit towards the bottom end of the Fortnite seasons ever. Let me know what you guys thought of this season, as I absolutely bopped Raz in the head. Oh my gosh, I missed the pump shotgun, man. And on the back of the primal season, we went to the complete opposite direction with a futuristic season, which now I think about it makes a little bit more sense that they went in those two directions, with a giant alien spaceship above our head. One of the scariest things that's ever happened. Well, Galactus was pretty scary, but that thing was absolutely huge. We got Dr. Sloan, Superman was absolutely hyped, and Rick Sanchez all in the Battle Pass. The alien invasion was definitely scary. We actually got 2 live events, don't forget. The Ariana Grande concert. People love concerts. This one was awesome. And Operation Skyfire with all of the cubes. It felt like the Fortnite Island was being destroyed, and despite at the end of that live event seeing the whole of the spaceship smashing into the island, as we went from Chapter 2, Season 7 into the beginning of Chapter 2, Season 8, the island hadn't actually changed that much, but there were definitely monsters everywhere, cubes everywhere. The island was being taken over, and we were introduced to the Cube Queen herself, one of her scariest characters, and a character that I still think could come back to the island and cause some havoc to this day. We've got Carnage in the Battle Pass, Fabio Sparklemane, how can you forget him? And the build-up eventually of the Cube Pyramid in the center of the island, and another end event. We had no idea that the end of the chapter was coming yet again. Fortnite always spring it upon us. And as we went from the end of this season, little did we know that we were going from an alien-infested, cube-ridden island all the way to the beginning of Chapter 3. Another island, tons of new weapons and new features. Oh my gosh, I forgot about the MK7 assault rifle. One of the most powerful and one of my favorite assault rifles ever, with an actual red dot sight. It felt like I was back in an FPS game again, and it's so strong. Spider-Man in the Battle Pass, a Foundation in the Battle Pass, a new Fortnite Island, Tilted Towers, Greasy Groves returning. This season didn't need a live event, but it did see the removal of the pump shotgun, tactical shotgun, and for the very first time, the base assault rifle. But it was absolutely made up by the fact that we got the web slinger on the island. Still one of the greatest movement items to this day. And let's not forget about sliding mechanic as well. God, do I actually win this game? Oh, only just. And genuinely, I would consider the Chapter 3 island maybe my favorite island ever. I'm not joking. Like, Chapter 1, Chapter 3 are up there. Chapter 2, sorry, probably my least favorite one. Moving into Chapter 3, Season 2. Now, little did you know that I'd actually be getting my icon skin this season, and also the removal of build mode. I had no idea this was coming, by the way. And in fact, no leakers even knew that it was coming. And when the season kicked off and there was a mode where you could not build, droves of people came back to the game, and it felt like OG Fortnite again. And I truly feel blessed that that season was a season that my skin came out in, because I love no builds mode. Fortnite had so much hype around it. They added in overshield, mantling, sprinting, and we even had a live event. I gotta be biased here, okay? My skin came out in this season. I'm gonna put it towards the top of the list. And getting that first victory royale with my skin, oh my gosh. still will stay with me forever and truly blessed for anyone that's ever used code Allier or picked up my icon skin. And that's the best way to support me in the Fortnite item shop. So thank you guys. As we were introduced to Chapter 3, Season 3 with Darth Vader. Your boy still got his skin on, of course. Indiana Jones is a secret skin. Rave Cave, Reality Falls. An introduction of mythics and items through the reality pods being able to plant around the map. A really cool new feature. It wasn't a live event, but I'd say people were still pretty hyped for Fortnite at this point, and a lot of momentum coming out of the previous season, and people still playing the no builds mode. Oh my gosh, how can you forget the Naruto collab as well, with all the mythics that came along with it? One of the most hyped collabs ever between anime, between Fortnite, and I think there's still a lot of animes, like we're talking about Pokemon, we're talking about The Legend of the Avatar. All of these could come to Fortnite in the future. There's still so many more things that Fortnite hasn't explored yet, which brings us into what I believe to be the last season, believe it or not, of Chapter 3, Season 4. Now, looking back, you realize how shocking it was to go from Chapter 1 to Chapter 2, and Chapter 2 to Chapter 3, and how it would make sense that it's shocking to go from Chapter 3 all the way to Chapter 4 as well. But I'm just saying, if you're watching this and the next season ends up being Chapter 4, and you've got to like and subscribe to the channel, as I am a Fortnite prophet. We got Spider-Gwen, the Evo Chrome weapons, and Chrome all over the island. I actually think we're at a good point to get a new chapter and a new map to re-spark all of the excitement around Fortnite, which leads us into our final victory royale. I am so excited for whatever's next in the world of Fortnite.